folks around here believe that whatever happened to Travis Stallions, they'll have some of the consequences for. But the fact that we got here, folks around here believe it has a lot to do with Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that makes it a lot more personal.
Oh, 100%. Like you said. I mean, it can't get really much more. You always think like it can't get more personal than the game, right? It's Michigan Ohio State. It's the greatest rivalry, not only in college football, but in sports, right? It's widely recognized as the greatest rivalry in sports. So you don't need any extra gasoline on any fire on either side. But when you add in that y'all are basically trying to say we can't beat y'all unless we cheat, if you add in, hey, we doing an investigation. We're allegedly maybe hiring investigation firms to try to figure things out. Now it definitely is more personal. Even though it felt like it couldn't get more personal, it's more personal. And I just think that these boys at Michigan, man, they are pissed, right? And so in the game that we just had against Maryland, I think that it was a lot of because they were like dominating them, right? It was, offense, defense, like you're just driving on like the first drive for a touchdown. I was like, oh my goodness, here we go. We're almost at Ohio State. Let's do it. And then you get the strip sack and a return for all these different things. And I think that they took the pedal off the metal just a little bit and like started looking like before the game because it's a trap game, right? It's sandwiched in between Penn State and Ohio State. No matter how bad or good you think Maryland is, they're not those two teams as far as the grand scheme of things is concerned. And so it's a trap game, but you make sure you don't let that happen, right? You can't lose before you get to Ohio State. And so they came in with that attitude, I think. But as they started to just pummel them a little bit, they like, man, we got to get ready for Ohio State right now. You know what I mean? And as much as you don't want to do that, and nobody's going to say they did that, you can't avoid it, right? When you kind of dominating the game early, what was it, like 29-3 or
23-3?
Yeah, and it's just like, in the way it was 23-3. For me, it was like, they don't have a chance. They can't do nothing. They can't do nothing with us. And we are who we thought we are, of course. So let's look forward. And now it's like, oh, no, they are a pretty talented team. Mm-hmm. They start making a couple plays, couple things go their way. You get the interception in the red zone by us. And now, but because they're a great team, they figure out how to do it. They get it done. And now it doesn't matter. Yeah. Any scores or anything that happened this year before this doesn't matter. All the wins, they don't matter. Neither of us have losses. They don't matter anyway. The close games, because I remember being at Ohio State versus Maryland while everybody's talking about the Maryland-Michigan. Maryland definitely could have beaten Ohio State, and they almost should have, right? But they had a few blunders where, it didn't work out for them, and then, a better team won, of course, just like Michigan just did. And so none of that matters. None of it. Not one bit of it, and I'm excited, man, because the blood is at. We're probably going to see a midfield scrum. It's going to be a lot of good stuff in this game. I remember when we played them in 2013. Remember the big fight? And first we got the big fight in the tunnel, right? The back and forth. It wasn't like a physical fight, but it's just like, oh, I want to kill him. Why are you across from me? Well, the locker room always been there, guys. No, why are you walking back when I'm walking out? I just want to. That's how it is, And so you get that fight, and then on the field, it leaks on the field. We did the special teams fight. Braxton Miller should have got kicked out the game. He walks out, he pulling people. Everybody. It is a atmosphere that you do not want to miss. But now you add just a little more, another drop of just bad, disgusting, volatile blood in the water. Oh! I can't wait. I wish I could be there.
So you set the scene perfectly. For your appraisal. It's time for Devin's Appraisal with Devin Gardner, brought to you by Mark Orr at Lake Michigan Credit Union. Mark Orr, mortgage loan officer, Lake Michigan Credit Union, specializes in assisting healthcare and educational professionals. Contact Mark at mark.orr@lmcu.org. That's mark.orr, that's ORR, at lmcu.org to get pre-qualified. So you sort of alluded to what I saw at the beginning of the game. It just didn't seem like that same juice out the gate, right? Took them a minute to kind of get rolling. They go down, they score a touchdown and answer the field goal. And then the defense. Remember Cade said, I'm not used to a defense that scores points, right? You have pick sixes this year.
That's funny. I had Iowa this week.
Right. Yeah, they had what? I think it's 3 pick sixes. And this one they had a strip sack, scoop and score, 2 safeties.
Almost had another pick six because if the little elbow don't, Mike, get your elbow off the ground. That's a heads up play, man. But he had his elbow. Oh, I wanted that to be a touchdown so bad, and not because of that, but just because I love Mikey. You know, I loved him as a receiver. I was actually furious when he left the receiver room, and then he played so well on defense. It's like, man, I like you still, but I like that Mike. Ooh, and I like Mike Sam still on offense, but he is playing good football, and that was always a weird comment, a weird deal. But the sign of a good team is to pick each other up when maybe one side's not doing well, you play well, you know. And for the most part this year, we had a luxury of seeing both sides usually play well, like super well, like dominant. And the defense had to pick up the offense just a little bit and get some stops. Why not? Why can't they? Right. Is it not a team game? Is this tennis? This isn't tennis. This isn't LeBron James. This isn't LeBron James who goes down and scores, and now he got to get a stop. All right? No, this is a team sport in the greatest sense of the word. Like, some people don't even get a chance to continue on a side, contribute on a side of a ball. We have to depend on each other, and so that's what they did, and I think that's a good sign because you didn't know because this is explosive offense in Maryland. I've said it for years. Everybody's like, oh, Maryland. I think Maryland's a really good team, and I've had them a bunch of times calling their games. I've talked to Coach Loxley. I mean, he's doing an outstanding job. I think they're a really talented team, and every single time we play them, I think so. And everybody's like, oh, no, we should blow up our Maryland out. It's like, what? I just want to point back to last year. Maryland almost beat Michigan last year, too. You guys know that, right? at Michigan.
Yeah, they had a couple corners that were like that.
I had some Ohio State guys, texting me and stuff and talking crazy. Oh, y'all cheat, y'all. Like, and you as a former player, and you really feeding, you've been in the media too long. You feed into this garbage. You know that stealing signs, and I'm doing air quotes for guys on the radio that can't see me, cannot give you a 3-touchdown advantage. A 3-score advantage. That's not, no. That means you can kind of know when it's run or pass, but you still got to stop it. You don't know which pass play it is, whatever the case may be. And then not to mention last year, Ohio State said themselves that they changed their signs, but it's just a weird thing that they're all jumping on this bandwagon.
Well,
and
let me give you something. So former Florida State quarterback, Danny Cannell played at Florida State, right? That's where he played and played in the NFL for a minute. This is Danny Cannell. Who does Danny Cannell work for now, Ira? Who does Danny Cannell work for? You know?
Probably ESPN.
I'm really interested in see where it's going.
Oh, yeah. Well, you talked about, he has a radio show and whatnot. He's on CBS Sports HQ.
Oh, he's on your time.
But he got to get it. He still got to get it. So he said, and this was yesterday, just something to note. J.J. McCarthy has not been great when the plays aren't dialed up with the advantage of knowing the opponent's signals versus TCU in the playoffs the last 2 weeks. This is a dude who played the game, BG, college and pro, and now has the platform. And he's looking at I'm just thinking, did he watch the TCU game? Now I'm putting it to you.
2 bad plays. He got down on TCU. He was really.
Can you help me? What is he talking about?
You got to think about this. First of all, he's on a relatively big network, and I'm sure he hasn't studied film. He's just taking a little bit from there, a little bit, and I don't know the guy. And I'm just, you know me. You always think I'm friends with people when I'm trying to defend them. I just like to get a big bird's eye view and see where he's coming from.
When I'm trying to get, you're a quarterback. Yeah. You played. You were in the arena. So
trying to make it seem like I love James Franklin.
No. I'm trying to figure out what is this dude seeing.
I'm trying to. So this is the thing is like he's not doing the work that you're doing for your specific team, right? He's more. I imagine he's relatively national, right? So he's jumping on this and he's just looking at, the stat line isn't as good. He didn't watch the tape. He just saw, he threw 2 interceptions against TCU, right?
Yeah.
That's all he's seeing. He didn't watch him dominate in the second half and make throws and runs and all these different things. And I mean, is it on him? Because now he opens up himself to be, talked about by you and by me of like, you have no idea what you're talking about because you haven't watched. He's just seen the stat line. It's like, 2 interceptions there. Maryland, he wasn't very good. Oh, well, I guess he can't play without having the signals.
And they caught 8 pass plays last week. What are you talking about?
Well, so the thing is, if you have a narrative of he can't do it without signals, so that's just one anomaly where they only had limited opportunities. Well, you're able to flip that and say, to fit your narrative, well, they couldn't lean on him. That's why they did that. And I know that, that's ridiculous for as far as you're concerned, but when you have the Maryland game, right, that we just saw, and then you got TCU, the stat lines say he was terrible. Right, the stat line say he was terrible, even in this Maryland game, he made some really, really nice throws and some nice plays. The stat lines say he's terrible, right? So when you get the one that's sandwiched in between Penn State, you say, well, we can make that fit our narrative. The reason that he only threw 8 passes is because he wasn't capable of doing it, and they saw the writing on the wall, and they had to find a way, right? Because they'll be fine with giving the credit to Sharon, right? If you can discount that this quarterback, remember, I told you already earlier in the year, it's the bias of making sure your narrative is correct, right? They have been waiting for JJ to not play perfect. He's been playing perfect all year. Where have all these people been? Where was he? Did he say, because I'm talking about perfect almost, like playing the best football. He was the leader in the Heisman contention. But he wasn't saying them because that doesn't fit the narrative that everybody has wanted to since I first said that he should be the starter. He turns it over too much, blah, 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 all these things, right? And it was mostly that he's just so turnover prone, right? Which, if turnover prone is 4 interceptions when you're going into the last game of the season, I don't know what to do, Chief. I don't know what to do, man. If that's turnover prone, and then not only 4, 3 of them were in the same game against Bowling Green. That did not matter. You're going to win if you throw 6 interceptions. So if that's turnover prone, and not to mention his yards per completion, he's a downfield thrower. This ain't dink and dunk. This is downfield stuff. And his completion percentage was the highest in the country for so long. I'm sure he's still in top 5, top 10. And as far as a downfield attacks, I'm at a loss for words. So I'm trying to defend him as if he just hasn't been able to watch enough and study enough, and he's just jumping on the bandwagon. Now he's gonna look crazy. Well, and like other people last year looked crazy, he can't throw downfield, blah, 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 blah. And Ohio State believed in that. This is good for Michigan. Okay, hopefully Ohio State believes in all the stuff that people are saying, because then you're going to look crazy with egg on your face again, because he can't throw downfield. He can't do with under pressure. He can't da-da-da-da-da-da. And then he goes into Columbus and throws it over their heads over and over again for touchdowns. That's a win. I don't know. So, I think it's good that he's saying this.
So basically what you're saying is national guys have,
it's tough.
They have an excuse for having a lazy narrative. Okay. That's
fine. I mean, that's a mean way of saying it.
But they have an excuse for lazy narratives. Okay. Danny Cannell, have a lazy narrative when you're talking about defense or the running game or even a quarterback. We're talking about Hudson Card. I get why you don't know about him, but this is J.J. McCarthy.
And this is Michigan.
This is Michigan. This is a Heisman Trophy contender. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to have a take on him, a quarterback of which you are one, that's not one where you get a pass for having a lazy narrative, at least to me.
That is tough. And I'm just telling you, I'm just on the trying to help and, see how, because like I tell you all the time, when people do crazy stuff and when lame people do lame stuff or whatever, you feel, I'm not those things, so I don't know how to think. I'm trying to find out like you. I'm just doing a science project. I'm shooting out a hypothesis as to why that might have happened. I don't know.
Hey, and so here's what I'll say, though, as we get to a break. It was conservative.
Yeah.
The play,
you're playing Ohio State next week.
Yeah, it was
and
conservative.
You're up 23-3. It's like, let's just get out of this game. We don't want to get people hurt. Like, let's go. It's time to play the game.
Yeah, and Klatt said before the game he was banged up. We can see that he was banged up some in the Penn State game. So I think all of that plays into it. Make no mistake. But that dude gonna ball. I remember, DG, as we get to a break here, I said, DG, did you have one more play? DG, did you have one more play?
I got one more.
And that
I got one more right now. You put me in that game. You put me, I tell you all the time, I'm not playing no football. You put me in this game, the game, I'm always going to be good. Right now, I don't even have to exercise. I don't have to do nothing. Give me a uniform, throw that 90. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, and so
they can get it. Now against Indiana, Western Michigan, I will be struggling. Against this one, I'm going to be good to go. I played broken. Literally broken. I got one more. Just because I'm fat? What? I can go now. I can go right now.
That's my point. I don't give a damn.
Them.
I don't give a damn.
I struggle against Northwestern though. So I ain't got enough. I just don't have enough. I can't get up for that.
I get it.
But this one, I can get up for this one.
Hey, I don't care what ailment he has.
You ain't feeling good. I'll take my COVID year this game.
that man will be right.
I think he will too.
And so that's why I'm saying
Samaj!
gotta
I
write
can't
it on
wait to the
him.
next segment. Samaj won.
right.
He did it again.
That was Devin's appraisal with Devin Gardner, brought to you by Mark Orr at Lake
Samaj.
Michigan Credit Union. Mark Orr, mortgage loan officer at Lake Michigan Credit Union, specializes in assisting healthcare and educational professionals. Contact Mark at mark.orr@lmcu.org. That's mark.orr, O-R-R, at lmcu.org.
Sam.
To get pre-qualified. Okay, the Mark that you know, Mark Carmen.
Yeah, you know Mark
Okay.
Carmen.
You said his name so much.
Yeah, you got Mark, you got Max, right? And you got Mark, little Mark. So we don't really care about the older Mark. Let's go Mark Carmen Jr. and Max Carmen. Hey guys, how you doing? Tell them hi.
Who is Mark? Can you tell me?
Who knows at this point? But just you got to
Is
tell
he
us,
someone
little
in the
Mark, hi.
screen?
Hey Mark.
Okay. Whoever Mark is, hi. We
Hey,
got to
Max.
get to it.
Hey guys.
We got to get to a break. Back with more Monday Morning Quarterback on the other side here on the Michigan Insider on Sports Talk 1050 WTK, The Ticket. So did you figure out what the deal was, Mr. Hey, by the way, in the stream, clap it up for Mr. Weintraub. He figured out the sound issues, whatever they were. He got it worked out.
What happened?
And we
I
were
broke
just,
the mic too loud.
You might have broke the mic.
I
PG.
probably broke the mic.
No, Sam, it's related to the missing webcam earlier, and it's still messed up in here, but I got it fixed for the video part.
I'm on the
Okay.
other side. He really should be on this side. He cold-blooded. You know, he gonna do his thing.
Yeah,
It's Ohio State week. That's what I'm saying. You can put us all in that thing, and I think we're gonna be ready. Ain't that right, Ira?
yeah.
Ira can be my
been ready.
Julio.
Ira's been ready, and then somebody YouTube user is clapping it up. Yeah, so it's gonna be real interesting. Yo, oh, by the way, Urban Meyer came out. He said, "Man, I didn't say nothing about Ryan Day being in trouble if he doesn't win this game, but he is." But he is.
I told you, Urban been kind of, you know.
Well, he said he didn't say that. He said he never would say anything like that.
Yeah.
So it was a false quote made up about him. I actually believe that. That. But still.
But guess what? He know he is. He ain't gonna say that because he cool
Right.
around. That's his boy.
Right.
He know he in trouble.
Hell yeah.
Because guess what?
You lose to the backup?
Man.
Oh, dog.
Oh, right, the backup coach. Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. After all this, after you done got what you wanted, the coach ain't out there,
Mhm.
they can't cheat.
Mm-hmm. And you so much tougher. Even though you said that last year. They're so much tougher. See, the players always been, this is what people, the Buckeyes, I've been trying to help y'all out. This is what they fail to understand. It was never about the players' toughness. Players tough. It's about the coach's toughness.
Sam,
See, he has a soft scheme. Urban had a physical
it's a
scheme.
powerful scheme.
Yeah,
Very powerful. Downhill.
Urban had a powerful scheme. What happened when he got off Urban's playbook? Because it's my opinion that Ryan Day didn't script those plays. My opinion.
Yeah.
They came out playing not like Ohio State. They came out playing like Urban Meyer.
Oh,
They
you
came out.
yeah.
I'm talking about running the football.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh man, that's like
They look like they
ooh.
kind of more, they move transition to like kind of Big 12, like more skill
Yeah.
oriented.
And just overall, because Urban, we're gonna have more pro style quarterbacks, and we go, okay, you're gonna reinvent the wheel, even though the wheel was rolling, but you got to reinvent it. Yeah, Will was doing this thing. If you change the tire and it don't work, oh, that's definitely you.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely your fault.
Mm-hmm.
So now, if it don't work,
Sam, you know, it's tough because like you didn't get him last year with maybe like an NFL MVP candidate as a rookie. You couldn't get him 2 years in a row with that guy. And I already told you how, you know, everybody said, oh, CJ Stroud didn't beat Michigan. CJ Stroud was cold-blooded. He was playing really, really good in those games. Let's be clear. And I as a person that played outstanding against Ohio State usually and didn't beat them as a starter, I completely understand. It's tough, man. Hey, man, you can do everything you can do, but the other side, you know, they got your number or whatever. And so CJ, you couldn't get it with CJ Stroud. I don't know how you get it without him. That's tough.
Coming back on radio, guys. Stand by.
all right.
Back on radio in 5, 4.
Bring us back. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Growing up, I don't know if that lyric can be said nowadays.
You can't say all those words on here.
Man, you cannot say that. Why was you so confused?
Yeah, you're not Raps MVP, but you WTK's MVP. You know
Really?
that? Yeah.
Do I get a trophy?
Oh, the Monday Morning Quarterback's MVP. How about that?
Where's my trophy?
Yeah. Oh yeah, because we got to recognize you with trophies. I forgot. You got a whole. I know you got a trophy case, and you probably got one that's all signed up, ready for more trophies, right?
Man,
Oh, I was about to bring you a
that's
trophy.
a nice trophy. I
Right
would
now.
take that to the crib right now. That's a nice trophy. That's a nice trophy. Hey, before we get started, Sam,
Okay.
you know how much I love myself
Yes, I do.
and how I love to be right.
Yeah, how you got the special cocoa butter lotion that you rub and the.
I do have butter. I do have really nice lotions for my face, but that's not what I'm talking about. I love myself, right? And people think that's like a bad thing sometimes, right? And the thing is, I think more people should love themselves, maybe at least half as much as I love myself.
Half as much as
because
Mel
I
Tucker.
love
Mel
myself-
Tucker love himself too.
Who?
Mel Tucker. He love himself.
Just relax.
He love him some him.
Just relax.
You know that?
So I think the reason I'm able to love other people so much is because I love myself, right? And so I love kids. I love helping kids, whatever. So this year I get a chance to give turkeys to the community in Metro
Okay.
Detroit. So come down to Voyager High School. I forgot the address. Maybe I'll give it later in the show. But Voyager High School, I partner with Fogel Financial, Mike Fogel. They're going to come. We're going to give turkeys. The young go-getters are going to help give the turkeys out. So anybody you know that needs food, needs turkeys, maybe you can get two. I mean, I don't know. I'm very generous. I'll just give them away as you come, first serve, in my opinion. So, my love for myself has allowed me to love the children and to love my community. And so I'm very excited. I'm going to be giving them turkeys out like Nino Brown, baby.
Not like Nino.
Like Nino Brown, baby.
You gonna let Pookie come suck on the turkey?
No! Go. This is my driving force, right? We got to go to driving force.
Yes, it is time for the driving force update. First of all, welcome back to the Monday Morning Quarterback with Devin Gardner. It's brought to you by Grand Traverse Resort and Spa. Grand Traverse Resort and Spa, where snow falls and spirits rise. Find your true north at grandtraverseresort.com. Man, and great gear. I mean, look at it. Oh,
You're on the
man.
wrong side, Chief.
Oh, yeah, I am on the wrong side. Yeah, it's over on this side. Can you see that? Yeah, see that? Grand Traverse Resort and Spa. Yeah, man, they get down up there.
And that hat,
I
that's
don't
a
even-
new hat.
I don't even golf,
That's a
man.
new
I was
hat.
like, oh, man.
That's a new
Woo.
hat you got.
Love
That
the
boy
pro
cold.
shop over there.
That hat really nice.
All right, DG, it is time to get into your driving force update. This is where we talk about specifically the performance of JJ McCarthy in the game. It's time for the driving force update with Golden Limousine International at the wheel and Devin on the mic. Whether on the field or riding in a Golden Limousine vehicle, it is always about the quality of the drive. So, DG, assess for us the performance of number 9.
In 11 games, he's had 2 bad games. This was one of them. All right, Bowling Green, not a very good game. And this one, not a very good game. Now,
He said you wasn't the prime queen, you was the prime fiend.
listen, he wasn't bad, but to his standards, he just wasn't good, right? And in my opinion, it wouldn't be good enough to beat Ohio State. However, that wasn't Ohio State. That was Maryland, and that game's over, and I don't care how he played in it because this next game is all that matters. The next game is all that matters, but that's what people wanted to see, him have a lackluster, not as efficient, not as precise game, have a turnover, right? And so, and we're going to break down the interception, and I love Fox's camera angle because they got a camera angle from his view, and from his view, when he throws it, you see the defender pop up. You can't see the defender before he throws it, and then he pops up. That's the view of the quarterback, right? The linebacker is behind offensive line, defensive lineman, and you think you got a nice high shot to your tight end when you don't. And then the linebacker jumps out of nowhere. It's like,
You talking about that stick return on 4th down? Is that the one you talking about?
No, I'm talking about the one in the red zone.
Okay, gotcha.
Before half, right? And so that's the one that
I
kind of I thought got it rolling. You know what I mean? So that interception before half is like, oh man, we could have buried him right here, and I ain't see this dude, and he jumped up, right? And so I think it's perfectly fine because, you know, you're going to take this film if you're Ohio State, you're going to say, see, yeah, man, we can get him on this, and he can't do this, and let's listen to the media. The media saying he ain't what we thought he was, right? Even though they played him last year. It's like they're going to forget, and I love it. I love it. They're going to not respect him, right? People are going to say he's banged up, but guess what? When you play this game, I just told you, I can't play a game right now against Northwestern. I can't play a game right now against Western Michigan or Michigan State. I can't get up for that. I got one more. I got 4 more quarters for these guys right now. I'm going me.
I know you are.
260. I'm talking about just can't run straight. I ain't ran in so long. My feet hurt. Every time I wake up, I walked out of I don't even feel like going to WGA today, man. My feet are killing me. I'm telling you right now, I got one more. And JJ is going to be perfectly fine. Yeah. He's going to be as close to 100 as 100 can be.
So speak to this. And again, I want to acknowledge the other factors in the game. Let's remember these dudes, second week in a row, they find out they're going to be without another coach before the game.
I know.
Second week in a row, right? And of course, and then you don't have Jim out there. You got everybody saying all of this. You know, clearly Michigan has conceded some things and accepted the punishment. So there's all of these other factors that are going into the game. And that JJ is banged up. But speak to this as a quarterback. Rhythm. Now, I brought in all those other factors. I'm bringing in that you're probably saving some of JJ for next week against Ohio State as well. But man, you know, he didn't look like on those last 2 throws before the half. They were uncarried. He leaves the pocket, leaving protection. That's not JJ, right? That's not anything we seem to do. And then the interception in the red zone. I
honestly should have been picked off twice.
The
first one should have even got to the second one. Should have been the first one.
But here's what I think. Rhythm. That's why I think there's just going to be a different week. I think they're going to game plan from the beginning of the game. JJ is going to be about him in this offense. So, and they purposefully, I think, stayed away from that last week, but I think that contributes to maybe him making some uncarried. I'm not making excuses. Mm-hmm. I think people know that. I'm not making excuses.
I don't know if they know that.
But you know, you got to get a quarterback in the rhythm, right?
Yeah, but I think he just played bad. I think that because, you know, him rolling out, even though he left early, him rolling out has been his deal. Like him getting outside, I think knowing that you have a little bit of a hitch in the giddy up, right? I'm just telling you when you're it's this thin line. Cause like when I broke my foot against Ohio State, I was able to pay attention to great detail right afterward because it's broken. Like it's the worst it can be.
You're like Daredevil.
Like you know what I mean?
Losing your sight.
Like you lose
so you can hear.
Like that's a joke you saying, but I'm telling you, it's like when you get seriously hurt like that, it's like you like lock in so much more. But when you like a little hurt, but you can still go, that's when you start to think about the little hurtness. You know what I mean? Because like when you completely hurt, it's like, I ain't got nothing left. Like Byron Leftwich when he got to get carried down the field, it's like I can lock in because I don't got to worry about nothing else, right? But when you are a little hurt, but you still can go, like it was like my elbow my senior year. I've talked to you about it and kind of told people like how I couldn't even throw. Like during the week, I took so many drugs that year, and not like I call everything drugs, but like stuff like painkilling stuff to make sure that I can practice. And I used to get my skin turned to scales because I had gotten tape they taped my arms on my skin like a cast every single day just so I can go out and practice every single day, right? So my skin looked terrible. My right arm was awful, right? And then in the game, some days it would feel better and some days it wouldn't, right? In those days where it didn't feel great and I would be in warm-ups and in one throw when I flicked my wrist a little too hard, sharp pain shoot up my arm, that's in the back of my mind now. Like I can still go, but like, can I make this throw? Is my grip strong enough for this? Is whatever. I got to protect the ball. Like you start thinking about that stuff and it becomes so mental. But when you get in that Ohio State game, I don't know what it is, right? Because it's like I don't feel it no more. Like the feeling you feel in a game like that. And I want to know the science behind it. They've done specials and stuff. The science behind why are you able to do this in a rivalry? If I break my foot against Northwestern, I probably won't be able to do what I did. I threw for like 230 with a broken foot, and I'm the running quarterback. I'm dual threat. I ran for a first down on third down. I juked Bradley Roby in the open field with a broken foot. I ran for 9. Started 9. I don't know how I did it. Can I do it against another team? Probably not. I don't know what a rivalry does to you, but it brings something else. And it is like I remember the Ohio State game 2014. I didn't get my arm taped for the first time all season. Like they were about to do it, and I'm like, no, just give me a few more, the ibuprofen or whatever that is. I'm not gonna do it this week. And I just felt good. And it's like, why can't I feel like this earlier? You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. I don't know what goes through your brain, but I'm just telling you, man, it's different. It's different. and it's gonna be different.
That's why I know
It's
he's gonna
gonna
get.
be
That's why I know
different.
he's gonna get down.
It's gonna
That's
be
why
different.
I know.
And if it's not different, you're not the guy you think you are. Period.
I know he's the guy. I know he's the guy.
If it's not different in the game like this, I'm telling you, you're not who you think you are. And it's like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. I'm trying to. You gotta be in it. I think to really.
You know, you my guy.
Hopefully, I'm giving you a good view
You
or
are.
thought
You
of
are.
how it's.
You just
how
confirm
it feels, man.
You're confirming for me my feeling about this game. JJ's gonna get down. He is going to get.
But not only JJ, dude, guys are gonna make catches they've never made. They're gonna run faster than they've ever run, right? Because as much as Donovan, we saw how he exploded against Ohio State, and how this year everybody's saying, oh, he's just not at what he used to be. If you really look at it, until Ohio State last year, he wasn't that. He was just, he's just doing his thing.
He had Penn State, but to your point, yeah.
Everybody went crazy. You even said it's Jack Franklin. I mean, it's what it is. But like for the most part, during that season, we didn't look at him and be like, oh man, he could be a first rounder. Like we were just like, oh, we know he's talented and everything. He's just not, putting it together just yet or whatever. Ohio State coming, it's just like, who are you? And this remember, guy grew up in Michigan. He knows what it's
remember, the hand.
With it. He knows his hand is finished. He knows. So you don't got to think about it. It's over. It's done. My hand's garbage. I'm done with it. The hand's done. I'm going to get surgery or whatever after the season. So I know that. So now I can really lock in, right? I can press the hole, cut it back. I'm telling you, man, it's a lot of examples out there of people who are seriously hurt. And a lot of people, he was faking. No, because then afterwards you do surgery or whatever. You make sure you fix the thing. It's a lot of, what is it? Detroit. Isaiah.
Oh, yeah, on the ankle, 25 points in third quarter, 1988 finals.
Big as a grapefruit. How was he able to do this? I'm telling you, man.
Down on the leg.
I'm telling you, man. It's a different deal, and I'm excited. And I'm sure they have some of that on Ohio State too. You know what I mean? The thing is, they're healthy. Mm-hmm. They're healthy and they're fat and sassy. They just watched this Maryland game. They're like, man, they can be had on defense. They saw Will Johnson get faded up. They're like, man, they better not put him on MH. They better not. You know what I mean? So
they watched Illinois last year before the game. We see what kind of effect that had on them.
That's what I'm saying.
Had a pretty drastic effect on Ohio State in the game plan. I wonder if they make that same mistake again. Listen, the MMQ&A is up next. If you have questions for DG, put them down in the stream. This is something that we do to acknowledge the folks who are watching on YouTube and Facebook. So put your questions in there, and then the folks here on the radio as well, you'll be able to hear DG's answers.
I really hope that I conveyed.
You did.
Like, I want to put you guys in the shoes of a guy that's running out on that field against that team. I hope I did a good job. I hope everybody's blood is boiling away. Like, I'm hot today, and I know y'all don't have. Do y'all have the heat on? I'm hot, man.
DG,
the
heat is working every time you come in.
Debatable.
Anyway, that was DG's Driving Force update with Golden Limousine International at the wheel and Devin on the mic. Getting to your end zone safely, rested and relaxed is Golden Limousine's goal, no matter what time of day or night. Golden Limousine will get you there. You can book your transportation services by going to goldenlimo.com. They got them fully covered. You can say, I need to get to the airport. When I get picked up from the airport, I need that taken care of. And when I come back home in reverse, I need that taken care of as well. The entire trip can be booked with one phone call or one visit to goldenlimo.com. We got to get to a break. Back on the other side, MMQ&A will return here. Monday Morning Quarterback on Sports Talk 1050 WTKA, The Ticket.
Clear on the radio.
What you laughing at?
I literally say, reason Devin is hot. Got on that damn parka right now.
No, that's because.
Hey, but they say you did the perfect job, DG. Perfect job of explaining it.
It's tough, man. It's really hard to explain, man. It's just the feeling you get. Like, I don't know, man. That's the one thing I do miss. People always say you miss playing. No, I don't want to get tackled. It's ridiculous. But the hits, like, it's different in that game. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you're not even getting hit. Like, you just feel like invincible. Like,
Yeah. Is Roman good after that? Hey, yeah, Roman's good. Roman's good.
Man.
We thought Roman, I don't know if you recall our conversation. We thought Roman was going to be the one who got loose. It wound up being CJ last year who got loose. Yeah. But I'm gonna go back to the well. I think Roman's going to.
Better not let Samaj Morgan get down in this game. You think Sam gonna be insufferable? Samaj Morgan, don't do it. He too good. How about a
That's
freshman who gets on that jet sweep and has the wherewithal? He is a touchdown scorer, a baller. I can't stand it.
That is, if I were reincarnated as a college football player, that would be my mentality.
He don't care.
That would be my mentality.
He don't care.
That is the dude, mentality-wise, who is the walking
He's crazy.
embodiment. The walking embodiment.
Samaj Morgan is crazy. I know he probably don't watch this. Samaj, you're crazy. And I'm so happy you're able to do this, but I also don't want it to happen so quick. You crazy. You too crazy. You're gonna unlock something that you can't put back.
But think about Roman goes down. And so you got a few different guys you can tap to go in and say, okay, you got to.
He a good player, man.
And he tapped Samaj.
I told you, his senior year, his first game against Catholic Central, he made some of the most amazing plays. And then in the playoffs against Southfield, Rivalry, he playing quarterback, Sam. He's playing quarterback and getting down. He is a football player in every sense of the word. I'm just telling you, he can go on defense and be a really good defensive player. Like, he can be Mike Samerstill on defense. I'm telling you right now, like, he's a dog. And you gotta just put him in the cage a little bit. But I think they should unleash him this one. Oh, they've been slowly but surely unleashing him. And I'm telling you, he might have an amazing game against Ohio State. And again, another guy that grew up here, understands what it means. Not to mention, when you growing up in Michigan, as much as people hate to hear it, Ohio State was winning, especially when you're young, right? Ohio State was winning. And I'm sure he had dreams of maybe being a wide receiver and getting a scholarship from Ohio State. Whether he was going to go or not, you want that validation as a player of like, yeah, Ohio State wants me. And they didn't show no love. That is a chip on the shoulder of like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get you. This is what you could have had. All right, you saw last week a guy that for the Giants, he mad at the Washington Redskins, or not Redskins, Washington Commanders, because they didn't draft him. It's like, you had a chance to draft me and you didn't. And now I'm 2-0 against you bums. You know what I mean? I don't know what the guy's name is, but it's just it's personal, man. And you find a way as an athlete to make it personal. And now they don't have to find a way. They don't. Ohio State's done it for them, or the NCAA or whoever.
All right, here we go.
Back on radio in 5, 4, 3.
You can't sing that either. Well, actually, people will be fine with that.
And we are back, folks, here on the Michigan Insider Sports Talk 1050 WTKA, online at WTKA.com. It is time for the MMQ&A as we get some questions in, as many as we can in the final moments of the Monday morning quarterback. So, DG, let's jump right in.
Yeah, let's jump in.
All right.
No goofy questions today, guys. I'm already too turned up now.
All right. So a lot of questions about JJ. Tyler W wants to know, is man or zone defense? He seemed a bit confused against the zones this week. Did you see that?
This is the goofy stuff I'm talking about. Move on. We've done all these shows every single day, watching him dissect zone and all this, and this guy's going to come in like this. Sam, not today. Not today, Sam. I said not today, and you put that up there with a smile because you knew it was garbage.
And I just thought you might be able to address it. So here, let's stay with it. John Wright wants to know, JJ struggled most in the 3 games with Moore as head coach. Why is that?
Sam, if you don't quit playing with me, if you don't stop playing with me, you're wasting people's time. You're wasting the people's time. You're wasting the people's time. I know it got to be something better than that in the industry.
All right.
What are we doing?
All right, let's get back over here.
People on the radio are like, Sam, stop wasting everybody's time.
We Being Cold wants to know, what plays do you want to see called against Ohio State? What are the weaknesses that Michigan can exploit?
So I think that Ohio State, they have a good defense. Let's not like they have a really good. I think it might be a little bit better than last year. But the thing is, everybody struggles with quarterback run, right? Quarterback who can create and create those yards with his legs. And so that's, I think, where Michigan is going to have a big advantage, is being able to move. And because the thing is, as a defense, if you dedicate a spy, you take a guy out of coverage, right? And if you have those hole players, he's going to be able to navigate throws behind the linebackers and in front of the safeties, whether it be zone or whatever the case may be. And so I think that JJ is the difference maker in the game just because of his ability to run and throw. So there aren't specific plays. Obviously, if you get retreat coverage, I want to see them get the ball out and do all those things. But there aren't specific plays like I want to see him run Dino. You know what I mean? Like that's not a thing. I want to see them put the ball in his hands from the start, just kind of like how you alluded to. Like I think that is the way, the path to victory. And it was the same last year, right? It was the same last year. They started off just running the ball. The game changed when they put the ball in JJ's hands and he started to make all the decisions and all the plays. And then they could go right to the run game and like, okay, you take over. You know what I mean? And so I think that is still the pathway to victory for Michigan.
Yeah, to your point. I mean, these last few teams have been spying the heck, maybe not Penn State as much.
Well, yeah, it's only 8 times to do it.
Right, but right,
it's not right. An opportunity.
And to answer that one question, they only threw it 8 times. But
yeah, he's talking about he struggled. He was 7 of 8. That's actually outstanding. If you throw really, 8 times and you complete 7, that's why you are wasting people. Oh,
it really affected the run game as well. But on the stick return. On 4th and 3,
and Minter's just a better coach, I guess. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, on the 4th and 3,
better head coach.
They were spying him, and so JJ fits in between 3 guys. But the Mike is not even in coverage because he is spying JJ. Like if he was in coverage, he steps underneath that and picks it. That's one of the things that you get with JJ McCarthy. Like they gotta worry about him when he's out there.
And some
as
people
a
go to that double spy, right? Spy on one side, spy on the other side, just so if he gets out, and then. You're taking 2 guys out of coverage, right? And so that is tough. It's tough to play against a guy like that.
Yeah, and look, I look
especially a guy like that can play on time too. Now, for Caleb Williams, a lot of people figured out he doesn't really truly play on time a lot, right? And so when you got a guy that's always creating, you can do a little more there. But when you got a guy that only creates when he has to and can play on time, that's tough. Because the thing is, you can't be as aggressive outside when you have those 2 guys dedicated to spying him. Because the guy outside, if he gets beat, it's a touchdown because you don't got enough guys back, right? So you got to be a little more soft, and you give him those opportunities, drop back, hit that back step, and throw the ball, and now you're in kind of no man's land, I think.
Yeah, so for sake, and this line of questioning is coming up a lot, which is why I'm putting it up on the screen. He said, why continue conservative play calling if your opponent has continued to reduce the scoring deficit and you have less than a TD lead? We can speculate all we want.
Or did they win? Or
yeah, we can speculate to the sky, as long as the sky is blue, which is forever, right? Point to me is, I could say, hey, I think maybe he was saving them for Ohio State. We can debate. It won't matter in this game. It will not matter in this game because what you just told us in the last segment, DG, is why. Like if he can walk, and every kind of threat that you need him to present, run threat.
Look on the screen, I ran for a 9-yard first down with a broken foot. Completely broken. Like, I won't be able to walk after the game type of thing. Is what it is, man.
Yeah.
He'll be fine. He's going
to get down on these dudes. And they really don't have a choice. That's where they're biggest. So talk about that while I get the next question, that one that you'll actually answer.
He said JJ will be playing with this inner DG this game.
Let me get one that you'll actually answer and address this. Michigan has a few advantages in this game, but to me, their biggest advantage is at the quarterback position.
I think so. I think so. And as much as the quarterbacks don't play against each other, right, the guy on one sideline sees the guy who's on the other sideline, right? And I think that McCord will come out with a lot of confidence at first, right? But the plan I presented for Michigan to use is we have to collision and give the appearance that we won't take away Marvin Harrison. And then at the snap, we have to make sure that McCord sees ghosts. He sees that he has no chance of throwing it to his guy, and now you've wasted time. Obviously, the pass rush is going to get there. Can't wait to see what Grant does in this game, the big fellow up front for Michigan. But you take the initial read away, and he has to start going through his reads and playing in that way. I think that presents a lot of issues for Ohio State on offense. And once he starts to lose some of that confidence of like, man, I can't get to my guy. Maybe a guy drops a ball here. Maybe I'm a little inaccurate there on this other throw to this other guy. And he looks across and he's like, man, they got him, right? Runner, thrower, a guy that's played really well, was in the Heisman conversation, but then sacrificed that because of the team, obviously. It's tough, man. It's tough when you look across the field. And so that's why that 2013 game was kind of cool because neither one of us flinched. I'm looking across at Braxton. He looking across at me. No, I'm not the one to flinch, brother.
Yeah.
And I think that McCord might be the one to flinch.
Here's a question I'm going to ask Borges today. If he had it to do over again, would he call your number? Because
he should have talked to me. That's what he should have talked to.
Right.
He talked to the wrong people. You like, and I'm a little mad at him right now. I'm hoping walking. I'm gonna punch him in the stomach. He should have. Whatever conversation they had, I don't know what it was to make us whatever. He should have talked to me. He should have. I should have took my helmet off. Give me the headset. But I had a lot going on, as you know, and so I'm just like, I think I'm thinking like they know I'm a dog, right? So they're gonna get it, whatever. But obviously not, and I don't know what it was, but he should have talked to me. That's what he should have did.
In mentioning it in the past, he said, I felt like I wouldn't be fair to the kid if I put him in that position.
He should have talked. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I'll take that away from you. Give me the rock.
Right. And so I think there's a lesson in that. I don't even know if Sharon is in the same mode. But the point, I think, is the same, that if he was protecting him in any way in the Maryland game, that's out the window against Ohio State.
Completely out.
This is what it's all about right here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I expect to be the case. All right, let's go to the next question. And this one is about Donovan. Jason Fisher says, I love Edwards, but they shouldn't use him in the run game in the red zone. He's better used in the passing game when in the red zone. What are your thoughts, DG?
Yeah. That's why Fisher's, he's watching and stuff, because what do you mean you can't use him in the run game? What are we talking about? Like, he's a talented back, right? First of all, as much as I love Blake, right? And Blake's going to be, and then everybody don't know, we got Blake this year too. So you got both these guys now. Now you can have them on the field at the same time. Last year, that wasn't an option. You could just focus on Blake. But for Blake, he's got all the skills that you want at running back. Why would you just say, hey, we're not going to use you in the run game in the red zone? That just doesn't make sense. And obviously, it's not a coach or whatever, so he doesn't understand how it works, right? And obviously, when you go up close, you probably want to use Blake a little more, just because he's that short yardage guy kind of in that, right? He's very stout, low to the ground. Donovan's more of a bouncer a lot of times, things like that. Even though he's done a good job of running between the tackles, I think that you use him however that you can at that moment. He can run the ball, he can catch the ball in the red zone. It's not like, hey, only do this. That's weird. I don't understand.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have to feature Donovan more too. At any rate, listen, we're gonna give the folks in the stream an extra 5 minutes, make up with that 5 minutes that we missed sound wise earlier in the show. But for the rest of you, that's gonna do it for us here on the Monday Morning Quarterback and the Michigan Insider. Let's get callers number 7 and 8. Callers number 7 and 8. You will join us inside the Bud Light Victor's Lounge leading up to the Ohio State game. 734-998-1050. We'll see you tomorrow here on the Michigan Insider on Sports Talk 1050 WTK, the Ticket, the official voice of the University of Michigan Sports Ann Arbor, a Cumulus station.
Clear on the radio.
All right, DG, get you a couple of more questions from the folks in the stream. Keith Rebar said, how big a loss is Roman Wilson? Can Samaj and Darius make up for the loss? First of all, Roman will be back. But what do you think about Samaj and Darius in this game as well?
Man, so you know how I feel about Samaj, man. I already went through it. He's amazing. He's the guy. And they got to just temper it a little bit because
when
he's
they
crazy.
Unleash him on a full-time basis.
Oh, man, that'd be devastating. We can't do that.
They got some plays for him. They love him on those jet sweeps or reverses.
Yeah,
he can do that.
They can't let him do this. He's amazing. But I think they can pick it up, even though Roman will be back. I think they'll be fine. I like this one, Sam. Did it come up?
It did for a minute. You took it down.
Oh, my apologies. I like this one. Maybe it's some things I did see that, and that's something that they haven't done. With these guys have been healthy and all that. They haven't done a whole bunch of that, and I'm sure you remember Deuce Package? Remember when Boris told you about Deuce? Like that thing, especially when you see it for the first time, there's nothing you can do. Me, Vincent Smith, Denard, sometimes Justice Hayes in the backfield all at the same time. It's devastating, is what it is, right? And so that's something they haven't shown a whole bunch. And I think that's something that can really be a wrinkle, especially with a running quarterback. Like, it might even be better than Deuce Package, right? Because say I'm JJ and Denard is, Donovan, maybe, right? Okay, let's say Denard's a little better, but now you got Blake Corum too, right? That's a different level than as much as I love Vincent Smith. Blake Corum, JJ, say me and JJ are even. Say Denard is a little better than, or maybe a lot better than Donovan as a runner. I think Blake is really what sets it off. And now you got them three in there.
Yeah, this is why I think
that's a good job by Steve Horn.
See,
that's the kind of stuff. That's good stuff. That's a guy that's watched the tape, has been here. He's done like like, hey, that's something that could really, and they only showed it one time. But
so listen, you're a teacher, DG. Don't teachers say there's no such thing as a bad question?
Well, they stupid. Especially like if Sam, if I've told you, hey, yeah, 2 + 2 is 4, right? 2 + 2 is 4. And then I say 2 + 2 is 4. I teach you, right? And I know 2 + 2 is 4 because you've answered it already.
What if they're a new student? What if they're a new student?
Who told? Why are you here so late? What are we doing? You need to go watch the old episodes. What are you doing? We're not going. Go. Is it on YouTube still? Is everything on YouTube still?
Everything's on
if
YouTube.
You knew, go watch first before you come in here. Asking crazy questions.
But what you just laid out is why I think Donovan is going to have some explosives.
Well, I think we should get some, Steve Horn, give him some.
Yeah, get Steve Horn. I think Donovan's going to have some explosives in this game out of that package, right? Because either that or you're going to dedicate the appropriate amount of attention to Donovan, splitting out. Now you got to light box. What are we going to do?
It's tough.
What are we going to do?
So, because you got to think when it's that's basically, so say they go 22 personnel, right? 22 is 2 backs, 2 tight ends, right? We got Barner, we got Loveland, we got Blake, we got Donovan. What do? Do you send in nickel versus 22?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because 22 personnel says that you should bring in some beef.
Right. Light box either in people or in size.
Yeah, so no, but 22 personnel says bring in bigger people,
it
right?
Does.
But then you got pass catcher in Loveland.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically a wide receiver. Barner, who's a great blocker, has shown to be an outstanding threat as a tight end pass catcher. Donovan is essentially a slot receiver if you want to split him out and play him in that way. So really, it's not 22 personnel. It's 1 back, right? It's 10 personnel. It's 4 wide receivers out there, 5 if you count Donovan. And so now you got these big guys out there. You had a big disadvantage. Now, let's flip the other way. It's 22 with those same guys. And you're like, no, we're going to put our skill guys in. Well, now you got great blocker and Barner. You got a Donovan who will block people. You got a Blake Corum who will block. You're in a no man's land situation. And I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if that wasn't a staple of the offense just to create that kind of conflict on a lot of important situations Saturday.
Yeah. What do you think about Samaj punt returner? I don't think that we will see it.
I don't like it
in this game.
He's crazy. We got to wait till he get older because he's crazy. He wasn't going to catch it on the 4 because he think he can get down. I don't like it. You got to keep him. Can we stop trying to put so much on Samaj? Let him do his thing. They've moved him into the offense as graciously and slowly. Just take it slow, man. Because guess what? Once Samaj gets he's not comfortable yet.
Mm-hmm.
When he gets comfortable, it's gonna be some smoke in the city. We don't want to see that just yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they could feature him a bunch in this game. People don't even know he can get in the backfield and be like he is. And this is high praise, and I hate to give it, and hopefully, and tell you talk to his dad sometime. Tell him don't let him watch this episode, and don't let him hear about it. He could be Percy Harvin, man. He's got that type of skill of because Percy Harvin, he could play quarterback in high school. Percy Harvin can get on defense and be the best player on defense. He is that type of talent.
He definitely had P. Harv's mentality,
and he's got that attitude of Percy Harvin, man. Delete this. Only seen his lot. Cut this when we put it up. Cut this off because we can't allow him to see this. Maybe after the season, maybe. We can't allow him to see it.
P. Harv had a different gear, but still. But everything else?
Did you see him get the jet sweep?
Find
a way to get to the end zone. That's the thing. It ain't about how fast. It's do you have the ability to beat angles, run fast? Balance? And he has it, man. And we got to cut this clip. We got to cut it off. And I'm not talking about cut it to put on the internet. We got to wipe this from the internet. Put it in a folder to never be found again. Only if you saw it live is the only way you get to see this.
Samaj Senior watches. So
Samaj Senior, if you're watching, Come on, man. We cannot let him see it. You know your son better than me. He's crazy. We can't allow you. We can't allow him to see this.
Where do you think Samaj Jr. gets it from?
That's what I'm saying. He know him better than anybody.
So he gonna show it to him.
No, don't show him. We gotta delete this. Delete this. If he's screen recording, that's the only. We gotta delete this. Delete the clip.
Hey, D2K2 wants to know, Devin, why is it the narrative that Michigan hasn't played an offense like Ohio State, but people haven't realized Ohio State hasn't played an offense that can test them like Michigan?
I said that when we talk about Penn State. Everybody's saying, oh, Michigan hasn't played a team that blah, blah, blah. Who has Penn State played? They played Ohio State without Henderson. Like, what are we talking about? Like, all this whole, you haven't did this, you haven't done that. But what about the other side? Ohio State hasn't played anybody to the caliber of Michigan. They haven't. And that was evidence last year, right? Oh, their schedule was so good. They played, you know, No, they didn't, obviously. They hadn't seen anything like Michigan. And so this is the same kind of thing. We haven't seen anything like them, right? And that's right. You haven't seen Marvin Harris and all that, but they also haven't seen anything like Michigan. And that's why it's going to be such a great game, I think.
Dissect for me the play pass, the corner post that they did. They hit it last year versus Ohio State. They didn't hit it in this game. So
I didn't see it.
Okay,
yeah.
So we'll do it. We'll dissect it in the post game. Coming out on the post, CJ kind of flattened it out. JJ threw it like,
you're talking about when they got 0 against Ohio State in the long touchdown.
In the long touchdown, you remember he threw it.
Of course, he threw it across because he had nobody backside and no field.
So they had the same play, and CJ flattened it out again, kind of carrying it across the field. JJ threw it like he thought he was going to stem it vertical. I'm gonna have you break that down. Felt like it was kind of on both guys in this instance.
And that can happen when you got Ohio State next week. But I want to point, if it's the same route, right?
Same route.
What happened when they played Ohio State?
They hit it.
That's all that matters, man. I ain't trying to hear all that. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear what throws they missed or plays they didn't make against Maryland. I don't want to hear it. Now, if they hadn't dominated Ohio State last year and dominated them the year before, and haven't lost a Big Ten game and I don't know how long, then we could dissect like, man, we can do all the might, or against Ohio State, it'll be different. We could do that. I don't want to hear none of that, because these kids that are on this roster right now have proven, everybody has proven that when Ohio State comes to town or we go to their crib, we are going to be a different team, and we understand the importance of being different, playing better. Just like Shaq talks about a player who in the playoffs, you got to be a little bit better. Your stats have to improve dramatically. That's the same thing. And this team understands that. We have no reason to think they don't understand that. The only thing I can think of is they can't wait to get there. Yeah,
this is a question.
I don't care what they did against Maryland.
You need to answer this one for Daniel. You can pretend to be Daniel right here. Tobias wasn't. Somebody buy tickets for Stephen A. Smith to this game so he can finally watch a college football game.
Daniel can't stand Stephen A. Yeah, like, again though, that's the national thing of like, he got a lot to do. He really an NBA guy, right? He do NBA for the most part. That's his thing where he's most knowledgeable, in my opinion. He don't care about college football. That ain't what's paying his bills, right? ESPN ain't focused on college football like that. That's like Fox is all into college football, all that. ESPN is not really into college football. They're into the pros deals and whatever. And so, obviously he puts it out there, so he opens himself up to criticism. But in defense, it's like, dude, he ain't paying attention to that. And like you said, he probably ain't watched a college game from beginning to end all year.
Somebody asked, I have to go back and find it, but they said, you charged with talking to JJ right now. What would you say to him? I can't remember. Forgive me for not remembering who asked that question, but it was in the stream.
You said, what is the question?
What would you say if you were charged with sitting down and talking to JJ before this game? What would your message to him be?
Well, my message, it wouldn't be really a message. It would be, I would just ask him one question. You ready? I'm out. What do we need to talk about? He's been there. He knows exactly what to do. He don't need no motivational speech from me.
Scott Hamilton asked that question.
And it's a good question, but I don't need to give him a motivational speech. I don't need to get him up for this game. If I did, that's a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen what he can do. We've seen him in back-to-back years, because everybody forgets when he came in cold, it's snowing outside 2 years ago, and throws that rope up the right sideline after being sitting on the sideline in the snow, right? So he understands what this means. Not to mention, I don't think people know about his personal vendetta against Ryan Day. He don't like him, period. And I don't know if it's opening out there. I'm telling you right now, he don't like him.
Yeah, Ryan Day played.
He is giving him no opportunity to say nothing. He is going to be ready. There is no conversation I need to have with JJ McCarthy. Are you ready? If I had to, if they're like, hey, I want you to sit down with him. And I'll be thinking like, why? But okay, I'll do it. And I'll just say, are you ready? And he, whatever.
Yeah,
he
chose that dude over you.
And then guess what? I will walk out and they'd be like, man, the meeting was so quick. I did,
Yeah, JJ, super nice dude, super chill.
And that's when people get confused.
Right.
They don't know that he got that dog in it.
Yeah.
Right? They went to the X-ray machine.
Now.
They went to the X-ray machine. They look at it. Oh my God, he got that dog in him. They don't see that part because he's smiling. He's on the aloe commercials. Aloe, that like a lot of like thugs and tough guys and dogs don't wear aloe. All right, I got an aloe coat. And I'm telling you, I'm a tough guy. I do got aloe coats, very nice. And so that kind of confused you of like, man, he's always smiling. He's happy. He has a smiley face on his hand. He's about love. His Instagram promotes love. Yeah, all right. Yeah, Ohio State found out how much he loves. You know what I mean? So that's the one thing that, that's a good question. I wouldn't have to say anything.
A few more so we can get out of here. Sean Patrick King wants to know, true or false, Kenneth Grant will be a game changer on Saturday.
He heard that from me earlier on the show. I said, Grant, the big fella. I forgot. I didn't know his first name. He is going to be. Yeah. So he is the guy that tells me Michigan's ready, because for so many years, like Michigan we wouldn't be able to have a chance because in the SEC, dude, I'm telling you, they big. I don't know what they eat, and they're fast and strong, and they have quick twitch, and they shouldn't be able to do some of the things like he's like a superhuman. These guys, and then it's like you see Grant, and it's like, ooh. That's the caliber.
That's what they look like.
That's what they look like. Right? When you say, what is it like to, that's the SEC. That's what they look like all up and down the line.
That's what them Georgia dudes look like.
That's what they look. I remember playing against Alabama at Jerry World. Luckily, I was playing receiver because I felt bad for Jadar. I line up, get ready, and look down the line. Oh, my God. I'm so glad. Hey, good luck, brother. Good luck, man. Because, and we had Taylor Wine. We had big dudes, but it was different. And the dudes, it was like freshmen and like redshirt freshmen and sophomores. Like, wow, where are they getting these people? Where are they getting these humans? And Kenneth Grant is one of those humans of like, man, when he ran that dude down, that changed the game. Because he that was going to be a touchdown.
Yeah.
He get those knees. I never seen a big man do that except for at Georgia. At Alabama.
And you think
at schools like that.
You look at him and you think it just must be power. Man, he swam that dude and hit him.
He's quick. He's strong. He's fast. He could be, whoever said that, that's a smart analysis. See, that's what I'm talking about. I knew I had my people in here. Sam just trying to get me going, putting them garbage questions up. We got intelligent people who are making sure they are watching, studying as much as we are, and putting in the time, and that's a great analysis. Kenneth Grant will be a game changer, and he gonna turn that thing up, man.
Yeah, and so YouTube user, he says, should fans boycott game day? My man Hassan Hart, he's still my man. Hey, Zeke, can you get?
I think that nobody should go.
Pause. See, Hassan, that's Chili's brother. You know Chili from TLC.
Really, Hassan Hall?
Yeah,
you're lying.
All right, see, but he gonna tease you. He gonna tell you, yeah, I get
I don't want to talk about his sister, but
oh man, I've been on it for years. I've been like, hey man, you gonna get Chili to come to the Victor's Lounge?
Can she come to the show one time?
Yeah.
If we do,
I've only been asking for 10 years, and he promised me.
He promised?
He promised me. He was going.
I heard about this.
He was like, hey, can you get her in Schembechler Hall? I said, I maybe asked Jim Harbaugh for like 2-3 favors in my life.
You can get her in Schembechler.
I get her. I get Chili to go to Schembechler.
I can get her in Schembechler.
So there's no excuse, Zeke, just like Ryan Day.
You talking about Chili. Usher Chili.
Don't say that. Well, see, now she ain't gonna come.
I wish it was Devin Chili. I love Chili.
She got a man now.
She don't like him like that.
Like what your man got to do with me?
Yeah, it ain't got nothing to do with me. She don't like him like that. She haven't met me yet. That's the thing.
I
forgive her already. I forgive you because you didn't meet me yet.
I'm like, what's the deal, Zeke?
We supposed to my boy.
When I went to Atlanta and I had to get around, Zeke, man, he went. I went to the Starbucks. Zeke came and hung out while I was working. That's my dude. That's my guy.
Yeah.
Came out till we had a little get
Chili
together.
From here?
No.
What's the how are we?
He's a Michigan fan.
Oh, really?
Zeke's a Michigan
fan.
I mean,
they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Man, Chili, man. And Sam, if something were to happen,
how about this?
Sam. If something were to happen where you connected and you were there and she was in this and you didn't tell me, I'm done with you. No, I'm serious. I know it seems like I'm joking, but I'm serious. I'm done with you. If Chili is at somewhere, anywhere in here, and it's through you because of you, and I'm not there, I don't care if I have a game. I'm done with you.
How about
this? So don't schedule it when I have a game and I can't be there.
How about this, Zeke? Can we get Chili on Dropping Dimes at least? Can we get Chili on Dropping?
That's over the airways. I want to see her in person.
I want to see her in person too, but my man act like that's too much. That's too much. He's been promising me that for years.
I got a lot of Sky Miles. And I know you can get around too because you got that bread. Man.
Hey, and Golden Limo will pick her up. Golden Limo will pick Chili up.
Chili, big fan of Chili. Big fan of Chili.
Can you show her this and tell her how much we want to see her? I'm just saying.
And I want to apologize. That's not Usher Chili, but I just want to make sure we're talking about the same person.
We're talking about the same person.
Look at the show, man.
Because it seems unbelievable. Same person.
Big fan.
All right.
You know who I saw? I saw it. I know we got to talk about. I mean, why? Since we're here, one time when I was in California, remember Alicia from the Wood?
Yeah.
I saw her at Trader Joe's.
Ooh.
And I froze up. Because she's older, but she's still beautiful. I was like, oh my God, it's Alicia. I talked to her though. I did talk to her. Because I was kind of like, my God, is that her? I love the Wood. It's one of my favorite movies.
Who are we talking about, man? From TLC, Chili from TLC. Come on, man. Come on, Andrew.
Yeah, Chili from TLC.
Come on, man.
Whatever. But big fan. Okay, but the game day thing, I think they should be skimpy, right? I think Michigan fans should send a message of like, nah, we're not gonna deal with how y'all did that. Nope. Oh, just head over to Fox Big Noon. I think so, and that's not because I'm Fox guy. It's just because as a Michigan person that loves, a fan of Michigan now, it's just like it was like a smear campaign almost. Right? You putting Feinbaum, you giving him this platform, and Stephen A. Like I said, he got a lot of stuff to do, but he was just drop the hammer. Don't let him go to the playoff. Well, if ESPN feels that way about your program, why would you go support and make their show amazing? That don't make no sense. Just to be on TV.
So wait, which Alicia did you see? Did you see Alicia, grown Alicia, Sanaa Lathan, or did you see young?
Sanaa Lathan. Nah. I saw young Alicia.
She too grown for you.
No, wait, you out your mind. You out your mind. You out your mind.
You'll figure it out.
You out your mind.
You'll figure it out.
You disrespectful.
Hey, I wasn't born. I don't know about this.
She's not too grown.
You can't walk up to her talking about you don't know who Rakim is.
What do Rakim got to do with me and her?
I'm just saying the whole movie. I mean, Rakim was throughout that whole movie.
Rakim don't got to do with me and her. I love Sanaa Lathan.
I'm just trying to.
And when she shaved her hair, I said, I'm with you too. You are not your hair. You are not your skin. You are not my expectations. No.
But you saw the other.
You know that song, In the Irie.
Yeah.
But it was a young Alicia. Yeah.
She was bad too.
She was nice.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. We got to get out of here.
Bet on that, punk. I like Alicia. And Sanaa Lathan. I like all Alicias and Chili for sure too.
Yeah, well.
Big fan.
10 years. People vouch for, oh, yes. So why are we talking about Sally Richardson? Melinda Williams is her name, by the way.
Who's Melinda Williams?
So you went up to the woman.
Oh, Alicia.
Yes.
I'm telling you, that's
you
what I
didn't
said.
Even know her name?
I panicked. I said,
come on.
I said, hey, look, I said, you Alicia. And she was like, yeah, sweetie.
Hey, I did that to somebody. So I was at Michigan's camp. This had to be about 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we was walking around and
Felicia.
Yes.
Yep.
She was because her son was a quarterback.
He was a recruit, yeah.
And she walked by and we walked right by and I stopped. And I said, Felicia. and she wasn't looking beat up. She wasn't looking beat up.
Of course, she's beautiful.
Yeah, she wasn't looking beat up like Felicia.
It's confusing.
She was looking like in House Party 3. She was Kids Woman in House Party 3.
That was her.
That was her, right?
That's so funny.
Right, but I didn't call her that.
Of course, you
called her Felicia.
Not by Hot Felicia.
Right.
Not by Felicia. Hot Felicia.
Don't call me that. Why are you calling me? I'm sorry. This is what I thought.
Yeah.
It's like Felicia.
Yeah.
She was real cool though.
Yeah.
She was
That's
real
how
cool.
I heard, man. I ain't as huge a fan of Felicia just because Friday, she's a crazy, but that's a pretty cool person to meet. But those other ones, Chili and Sanaa Lathan and now Melinda Williams,
well,
was awesome.
We got a Michigan connection to one of them, that being Chili. So let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. DG, parting shots before we get over to this film study. Give me your thoughts on the
We said
matchups.
5 minutes. We've been doing this for
I
so
know,
long.
I know. Give me.
We a lot of people, baby.
But we robbed them of 5 minutes at the beginning with the sound issues. So this matchup, what do you see as the? I know what you're going to say, but what do you see as the keys to victory here?
Well, obviously, you can't turn the ball over, right? You want to protect the ball. And JJ, he is the key. And he himself is the key, right? Him making plays, having control downfield. And you know, one thing I think, just because of what happened last year, of all those times they threw the ball over their heads, I think you're going to see a lot of underneath, a lot of curls, a lot of stops, quick outs, right? 2-yard out where JJ goes 1, 2, 3, hits that back foot and throws it on time. A lot of that, especially initially, because they're going to be so worried about, oh, no, last time we can't let him throw it over our heads, right? So let's back up, try to put pressure. He's going to get the ball out on time. And then it's going to transition to, it's a human. I'm a human. I can't keep letting him throw the ball right in front of my face, break on it, double move, you know what I mean? So, but the key is JJ, and I think he's going to be able to have great success, especially early with playing on time. And then I think in the second half will be more of his creativity that takes over.
All right. That's going to do it for us. We got to get over to the film study. Have a happy Thanksgiving, folks. We still going to get Al and Vance and all the rest of the crew in this week. So be on the lookout for that. We'll see you next time.